4078. It's going to be this 1222, or correction, 1122 Queen Road up here. I got it. Hey guys, Bosco PD. Hey, turn the music down. Turn the music down. Hey guys, second time. I need somebody to come to the door. Music stays off. Party's over.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Let's go. Let's do this. State's motion. Wait, what? Come on. We're not ready for all that. Is Miss Potts in here? I see all the mods in here. Oh, there she is, Miss Potts. Miss Potts, Heather. I'll give a shout out to all the mods really quick. Oh, there's Murky. Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful. Any other mods in here? It doesn't show a shit on this end. Anyways, the mods don't get enough love. I mean, I try to give them love, but if I've missed a mod, understand that it's because of StreamYard. Greetings. Come on, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, good. Let's do this. Let's do this the right way. I have a lot of videos backed up, so I want to do this one. I was deciding which one I wanted to do. I kind of want to go with this one. Yeah, let's go with this one. Let's go. Denny said he wants to come live tonight. I was like,
hello and welcome to Truth and Transparency. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Transparency. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Not sure if this is working.
Today is not a day to celebrate. With the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi.
bang, bang. I'm bringing it. Take care, Miss Vargas. See you soon, Miss Vargas. Paparazzi, stop. Fuck Aunt Bev. We'll talk about that for a minute. Karen Reed got screwed. Count one, count three. They're still in the heap of things. So Karen Reed will be tried on 1, 2, and 3 if the Commonwealth decides to go that route. Auntie Bev came out with a 22-page ruling on that. I will talk about that in its entirety in a different episode, but those of you guys that have followed me in the Karen Reed case, Judge Bev Canone said that not this time. Not this time. So, again, I will talk about that, though, at a later date. Page 12 of June 23rd's motion. The state claims that they didn't rely on the IGG information to obtain the arrest of Brian Koberger. Just in case you guys didn't know that. Second, the state did not rely on the IgG information to establish probable cause for defendant's arrest. The defense response to this will be very simple, in my opinion, back in the day. Let's talk about it. Here we go. Probable cause affidavit arrest Brian Kohlberger. Statement by Brett Payne, Exhibit A, the last page. So when you go ahead and you click on probable cause, the affidavit, and you scroll all the way to the last page. On December 27, 2022, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from Brian Kohlberger's parents' residence, right? That's where you can find this. Exhibit A, this is taking us all the way back. When you scroll all the way to the last page. In that last little section, I am requesting an arrest warrant be issued for Brian C. Kohlberger. Under the penalty of perjury. This is how you obtain the arrest warrant. Let's be clear. On December 27th, 2022, what were you doing? But they want to tell us that instead the state has relied on and will continue to rely on the STR DNA analysis comparison. How did you get the DNA of Brian Kohlberger, though? How did you get that? How did you get Brian Kohlberger's DNA? From the arrest warrant, right? So everything in the arrest warrant led you to be able to get Brian Kohlberger's DNA because that was being sought. Once you arrested him, you were able to get his DNA because you were seeking the buccal swabs, right? After identification of defendant, law enforcement recovered trash. Right there. We got to talk about that. After identification of defendant, law enforcement recovered trash from the home of defendant's parents. An ISP laboratory did STR DNA analysis of items from the trash for comparison to unknown crime scene DNA. The comparison indicated that the DNA found in the trash belonged to the biological father of the individual who left the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. Pursuant to the search warrant, law enforcement then collected DNA from the defendant via buccal swab. What? I'm making sure we know this. So the state did not get the buccal swab from Brian Kohlberger until after his arrest. Y'all want to get crazy? I'll get crazy with it too. Until after his arrest, how did the state obtain an arrest warrant for Brian Kohlberger? How did you obtain the arrest warrant for Brian Kohlberger? The FBI gave the name of Brian Kohlberger to local law enforcement through a tip. The name Brian Kohlberger was the tip. We submitted a tip. Our tip is looking at Brian Kohlberger. Okay. What was the date of that tip? We don't even know to this day. I was asking this a year ago, if not 2 years ago. I asked it in January of 2023. January 2023. We are in August, about to be in September of 2024. And yet here we are saying, what was the date of this motherfucking tip? Just the tip. How was this tip submitted? What FBI agent submitted the tip? Was the tip before FBI took over lab work on the sheath to develop an IgG family tree workup? I then took my happy ass all the way to California to work and learn all about IgG. And interesting. That's all I have to say is so fucking interesting. Say a damn lie. The FBI set up their own tip line. Remember that? The FBI set up their own tip line just a couple days into the investigation. The FBI set up their own tip line, man. The Idaho State Police utilized a private laboratory to develop an SNP profile from the DNA of the K-bar knife sheath. The private laboratory used and started... They started using Look at, they started using, what was it? Yep, IgG right there. Let me get that to that point. I want to pause it right. Hold on. Right there. I think it's right. A little bit further. Right there. The Idaho State Police utilized a private laboratory to develop an SMP profile from the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. I want everybody to see that. Okay. Now check this out. Who from local law enforcement decided that the FBI would take over, and when? The Idaho State Police utilized a private laboratory to develop an SNP profile from the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. The private laboratory started using genetic genealogy to develop a family tree. But after law enforcement decided that the FBI would take over, they said, but after law enforcement, they don't say, is it local? Is it state police? ISP? Who? This is what I think this is what Ann Taylor is talking about. Who made this decision that it says, but after law enforcement decided that the FBI would take over, the private laboratory ceased its efforts. Okay. And they sent that SNP profile to the FBI. I want to know who made that call. And that's what Ann Taylor wants to know. Ann Taylor wants to know who made that call. Ann Taylor wants to know, I guarantee she wants to know who made that call. Who made that call? I've been asking that since January. Ann Taylor's asking it. I guarantee you she's asking it. Then, now think about it. The FBI decided, like, listen, we're the FBI. We don't have to follow any protocols because we're going to do whatever we want. So we're going to just take this kit and we're going to submit it because we know the loophole, because all the people from IgG, because it's like a very small network, they all taught us the loophole. So we're going to go ahead and just enter it this way. And we're not going to submit it as a law enforcement kit. We're not going to pay $700. We're not going to do anything by the book. And instead, we're going to submit it so that we can get any hit possible. And what that means is that you didn't follow protocol. That means the FBI wouldn't have followed protocol on this, the hit on IgG. And then they decided to not follow protocol with Payne and Nick Balance. And they just decided to say, hey, everything meets and everything just all lines up. And the car meets the phone meets the car. Yep, this is our guy. Woo, we're all there. So the FBI royally fucked up on all aspects of this case. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that the FBI is literally involved in everything that was a fuck up in this case. Well, I have no problem talking about it. The FBI built the family tree using the same tools and methodologies of the public. They did not make it a law enforcement kit, which would have ixnayed any kits that said, hey, we are out of the law enforcement. We don't have anything to do with that. So then why did the FBI need to do this and not ISP? If FBI is using extra tools, or were they just like, hey, we're going to be able to get away with it, and they're not going to be able to get our database. They're not going to be able to get our, they're going to have to go through loops to get our shit. But if ISP does it, maybe it's going to be harder to get. Easier to get. Oh, those calves are just sick. Those calves are strong. So, again, the FBI was all over this motherfucker. Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, I think it's going to be very, very easy for, I guess you could say, the jury to see that the FBI was in all the bad things in this case, the questionable things in this case. The male voices in the background are eerie, Lana. We don't have those voices here. right there. I think this whole case has been like when. We know things that have happened in this case, but nobody wants to talk about when. Why can't we get any dates? Everybody knows what has taken place in this case, but when? When, as in the date, did the FBI obtain the name Brian Koberger from their process, right? Anything you want to add? What are the dates of this motherfucking case? You know what you do? When you don't know the dates or when you have to conceal the dates, you don't talk about the dates. And that's exactly what the prosecution is doing. The prosecution can't talk about dates because the dates fuck up their mojo. It's that simple. It's that simple. Ann Taylor wants dates. Her co-counsel wants dates. The reason they want dates is because the prosecution can't cough up dates. And so this is why they keep saying, how did you get to Brian Koberger? Where, how? Because they won't give up dates. Because nothing makes sense. Because you just like, poof, had this name. Bill Thompson is a fucking witness. Bill Thompson is a witness in this case. Oh, 10 gifted memberships. Ah. This channel has been talking about dates, timestamps, laying it all out. And it's not to pat my own back. It's just, how did you get to Brian Koberger? How did you get to Brian Koberger? And I think the most important thing, if you guys watched my last call-in show, because tonight I'm going to drop the link. If you don't hit the link, that's your fault. Everything in this case is hearsay.
Brian Koberger's DNA?
Everything in this case is hearsay. And I want to read this. So, the University of Idaho murders, the best reminder since the murders. Number one, the best part of what Eddie was on my show, what was it, yesterday, the day before. And he said at the live call-in show that he reminded us that, hey, Lana, everything is hearsay. And it's like, you know what, Eddie? Everything is hearsay. Even anything that the parents say is hearsay. So I want to remind us all that if we think about this, because I want to make it clear, just because someone's like, oh, a source says this, a source says that, because I love going through my comment section and I'm just like, God, where do these people get this shit from? So I want us to all be reminded that every parent that has spoke out, it's all hearsay. Every police officer that has spoke out, it's all hearsay. Every prosecutor involved in this case, whether it is a special prosecutor assigned to the case after Bill Thompson or whether it's him, it's hearsay. Every detective that has spoken out, hearsay. No wonder why Ann Taylor subpoenaed motherfucking Bethany Funk. Because she's like, oh, hell no. We've heard enough. Let's hear what Bethany really has to say. Or like it's all hearsay. The PC motherfucking A. It is all hearsay. So Steve Gonsalves, everything that he has said, hearsay. Whether I've talked to the coroner, I've talked to the Emmy, I don't give a fuck who anybody has talked to anymore. And I think the defense is fed up too. Like, we don't care who you've talked to. I want to see some facts. I want to see some reports. I want to see some this. I want to see some that. I don't want to hear anything anymore. We're done hearing things. I'm done hearing about what you think. And so that brings us to the change of venue. And you guys, how is Bill Thompson going to combat by himself and Ashley Jennings? How do they truly think they're going to combat 4 experts? I want to know, because if that's the case, then if this doesn't get overturned, because the state, as far as I'm concerned, has no experts that are going to combat what these 4 experts are going to say. But you think that the oral arguments of the prosecution should be enough to combat 4 experts in their field? And the answer to that is hell to the no. That has never happened in any case ever. ever. So why would Bill Thompson think, or Ashley Jennings think, that they could waltz in to a change of venue hearing with no experts to combat experts? Think about that. That's like having an Emmy for the prosecution, and that the defense doesn't have their own Emmy to combat what that Emmy is saying. Alan Jackson couldn't argue out of an expert. Yannetti and Taylor, nobody can oral argue out of that shit. You have to have somebody in that field combat what they're saying. Otherwise, how do you even remotely talk about it? So I want to know how the fuck Bill Thompson and Ashley Jennings are going to waltz their asses into this hearing and truly not have and call people to the stand to combat, to literally for lack of better words, try to debunk what 4 very, very highly qualified individuals are about to testify to. How is that even going to happen? You want to tell me that Bill Thompson and Ashley Jennings are just going to stand up there and be like, you know what, Your Honor? They didn't do this, and they didn't do that, and they didn't do this, and they didn't do that. And on those grounds, this should stay in Latah County. And if the judge truly sides with something as crazy as that, not facts, but oral argument, then everybody should see where this is headed. So, my thought is that if Ashley Jennings and Bill Thompson do not bring at least one person to the table that is their witness to be an expert that would go against what they're saying, then I think alone it should fly. Miss Potts has been a member for 18 months. I want to shake my tail feather. Hold on. You know, think about any type of case, man. Think about any type of case. How the fuck do they think that they can just get up there and not going to have anybody that's an expert combat their shit? Like the defense had to go out there and get Cyree to combat what Nick Balance and Payne put together, right? But imagine if it was just Ann Taylor saying, that's not right. That's not right. They didn't look at Brian Kohlberger's data right. You know what, Ann? You're right. We're going to give him bail. Think about this. This is fucking crazy. Like, think about if Ann Taylor was just like, you know what, Your Honor? I get it. Nick Balance is here. I get it. Payne's here. They walked all through this, but I'm going to tell you something right now. There's just not enough data points. And because there's not enough data points, it's unreliable. And so therefore, I think that Brian Kohlberger should be awarded bail because there's just not enough data points. So we have no idea where his phone was and blah, blah, blah. You know what, Ann? That sounds great. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give your client bail. $1 million. Post it. First of all, that would never happen, right? like mainstream media would be out there saying, who does Ann Taylor think she is? Right? But I want to know, who does Bill Thompson think he is? Who does Bill Thompson and Ashley Jennings think they are? To waltz their asses the fuck up in there. Let's really role play this. So does anybody know? Is Bill Jennings, or I'm sorry, I should call him Bill Jennings. Is Ashley Jennings or Bill Thompson calling anybody to the stand to combat what Dr. Edelman, there's 4 names on there, 2 doctors. I haven't seen a name yet. Keep this in Latah County, though. You know what somebody said to me in the comment section? I laughed, and I'm going to talk about it. Someone said, but they said they called over the roommates, blah, blah, blah. You guys, we don't know shit. We don't. If I was to tell you my opinion on how I think that night went and going into the early morning hours of 12 to 13, all of it's unreliable because you have a bunch of hot mess drunk people. Very, very intoxicated people. Highly intoxicated people. Whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol. Very, very... So they become just unreliable at that point. What they would have heard, seen, what they would have saw. I think Dylan's account is all highly, highly, highly unreliable due to her level of either being drunk or being high. So bushy eyebrows. I think everybody in Idaho has bushy eyebrows. I think it's hilarious though that Payne wants to look at a picture and think to himself, yeah, this person has bushy eyebrows. Because if you truly think about that, it's subjective. It's if Dylan wasn't given a 6-pack, like 6 different pictures of people, here, can you pick this person out? And I can tell you right now, Dylan did not pick out Brian Kohlberger, because if she would have, it would be out there in the PCA. The PCA is shit. They have shit. I've watched the Idaho State Police railroad motherfuckers before, and I am highly confident that Ann Taylor and the rest of her team is not verbalizing this for a reason. The last time I saw somebody being so verbally like, hey, our client is innocent, Karen motherfucking Reed is the last person I've seen their attorneys be so like innocent. And Karen Reed spoke out. Brian Kohlberg hasn't said a word. And here's Ann Taylor and a federal attorney in Masseth saying innocent. And it's like, they don't have to do any of that shit. Okay? Why would they? Oh, well, Random, because that's their job. No, it's not their job. It is not their job to go out there and tell all of us that Brian Kohlberger is innocent. Just so you guys know, that is not their fucking job. It's not their job to win over the public opinion. No. It is their job to zealously advocate for their client, but they're not going to go out there and say that Brian Kohlberger is innocent the way that they've been saying that he's innocent, unless, I'm sorry, but that's career suicide. Everyone say, these are public defenders. Ann Taylor has had the resources to spend money to get these, like, you look at Richard Allen. Richard Allen they wouldn't even sign off to pay his own attorneys. Okay? So how is Ann Taylor able to obtain all of the resources financially to be able to have all of these experts? Do you guys have any idea how much this costs? Let me put it to you this way. It's like $600 an hour to have these people testify per hour. Then you travel them, pay them. Then you have them make up these reports, and they're like $550, but it's $600 when you testify. Do you know how long these reports take? Do you know how much information they have to review? Do you have any idea how much money we're talking about? We're talking like 60 grand a pop per expert, like on a good day. So we're talking about a lot of money, but then here we look at Indiana and Richard Allen, and shit, they won't even pay his attorneys. They can't even get attorneys paid. So, we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about Cy Ray. He is pro bono, so he has not taken $1 because he doesn't take cases on. He refuses to take money, and I think that's more of like that should just tell you guys everything you ever need to know. is that somebody is taking on a case because they believe in their work, they believe in whatever data they're given, they believe in the case, and they're like, this does not make sense. Okay, yeah, let me take a look at this. So, but these people cost a lot of money. So, and they keep approving it. Like Ann Taylor has to get this shit approved. Like she can't just be like, I want this person, I want this person. This stuff goes through a different attorney or a different judge to be able to get that type of money. I'm just trying to tell you guys, when you want to talk about how much money this is costing a shit ton of money. But here, the defense is asking for all of these things. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, the prosecution, you better have experts to combat what these experts are saying, because if we're talking about like a trial, that's what every juror wants to see. Like, okay, like this person says this, but then, hey, they got another expert that says this. So those can wash each other out, right? But if we go into this hearing on Friday and we don't hear from any experts from the prosecution to tell me something that I could be like, okay, because I'll tell you this, because I'm not biased. I don't give a fuck. My opinion is that to move this trial to Boise, I think it would cost more money. I also think that it would put Moscow at really, really short ends. I think that it would put their little depleted little bunch over there in Moscow at short ends. But when I realized that y'all had 120 agents ready to just like, whoop, get right up in that motherfucking shit. Nope, y'all can figure it out. You're going to go get the Idaho State Police to help you out. You're going to go get this. You're going to go get that. We're not going to deprive somebody of their rights because y'all don't know how to staff. Okay? No. Get fucked. So, do I think that we should be sequestering people? Not if we don't take their cell phones. We don't need to sequester anybody unless we're going to take people's cell phones and have no TVs in rooms. Why do we need to sequester anybody? If you can have your cell phone and you can be in a hotel room with a TV, why in the world am I going to sequester you? I'd rather have witnesses see you do some stupid ass shit. Okay? Go ahead, run around. Point being is that if you have a cell phone and you're in your own hotel room and nobody's around you, damn, you probably do some damage. You know? I want you to be in a household that people have to like, that could out your asses. Or that, but if you're going to sequester people, then you got to take cell phones and you got to take TVs. Otherwise, why are we sequestering? It makes absolutely no fucking sense. Do I think that we could bring in people from Boise to come in and be the jurors of a case in Moscow? Yeah, pay them a lot of money. But who could do that unless you got paid money? Like, you're not going to see your family. You're going to be sequestered. No. What if you did half and half? What if the prosecution got to pick 6 people? And what if the defense got to pick 6 people and then they both got to pick 3 alternates and 3 alternates? What about that? And why can't it be just a whole Idaho as a whole? All y'all motherfuckers get thrown in to a basket if you are a citizen of Idaho and you could get pulled out like of a ticket, you know? And then, hey, if you get picked, you go there and hey, we end up picking you. Yeah, we pay you $200 a day. And we feed you. You can't have your phones. Do you think anybody would sign up for that shit? I have no idea. This is a very long sequestering period. We're talking about June, July, August. 3 months. That's like taking like a study group. But think about it. Those are the most important people. Your jury is the most important people. Like, this is the most important hearing that Brian Kohlberger will ever have, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is the most important hearing that Brian Kohberger has. And it is literally in 5-6 days. Because is this going to stay in Moscow? Is it going to move? Are we going to bring in different jurors? Like, these are the people that decide this man's fate. Is it going to be decided between the people that are in Latah County? Is it going to be... But at the end of the day, after what I saw happen in the Karen Reed case, that is every reason to move this motherfucker. Because Karen Reed should have never been tried in Norfolk County. Ever been tried there. Ever. And for her to be tried there, this is exactly what happens. Hung jury. That's her best out. Karen Reed's never going to be found. I'm sorry. I don't believe that Karen Reed's ever going to be found not guilty. But a hung jury, that is her best route because of where it's at. It needs to be moved. I was talking to somebody and they were trying to say that the Karen Reed case isn't going to be moved out of Norfolk County even now for like trial number 2. And I'm like, how is that even possible? Karen Reed's it's going to be a hung jury for what, 10 times? I'm telling you guys, like, and then think about this. You keep trying somebody and it hung jury. And then the next time, hung jury. Okay, now we finally found them. What do you think it means when you have to keep retrying somebody? They're waiting and waiting and waiting until somebody's going to find you what? Guilty. Because at that point, then they stop, right? So I think that needs to change. I don't think that you should be able to be tried unlimited times. Because they keep trying you until they get what? A guilty verdict. How is that not motherfucking set up for you to fail? We're going to keep doing this until we can get 12 people to find you guilty. Think about how fucked up that is. That doesn't make any sense. Come on, man. Think about that. When you want to talk about facts, man. Wait, hung jury. Okay. Oh, I get to be tried again. Why? Well, because it was a hung jury, so we get to try it again. Okay. It was a hung jury then. Well, we get to try it again. Because what? They're trying it because of why? They're not trying it so that you could be found innocent. They're trying it so that they can find you guilty. And when you truly think about that, in the end, you're going to be found guilty of what? A lesser. That's what's happening. And I think that that's absolutely fucking biased and absolute bullshit. They're not trying to try you again so that you could be found innocent. They're trying you again and again and again because they want to find you guilty. So when somebody asks me, well, what do you think about being able, like, no, I don't think that you should be able to keep on being tried. Absolutely not. I think it should be 2 and out. 2 and motherfucking out. Not 3. Not 3 strikes, you're out. No. Twice. That's it. You get 2 times to try me. What? Why should it take you more than that? If it has to take more than that, then something's fucked up. So I think that should change in the world of law. You should only be able to try somebody twice. And when I'm talking about a hung jury, guys, I'm not talking about a mistrial. There's difference. I'm not talking about a mistrial. A mistrial is different, okay? I'm talking about a hung jury that then gets deemed a mistrial, okay? You can try me as many times as you want on those stupid technicalities that 2 days out the gate, some bullshit happens. Okay, I have to declare this a mistrial. No, I'm talking about this goes to a jury and it's a hung jury. Then this goes to a jury again and it's a hung jury. I'm out. You had your 2 tries. So I don't think that you should be able to keep on trying and trying and trying and trying because that's what they're going to do to Karen Reed. All right. They've made that perfectly known. They're going to try her. You heard what Paul said. Well, if it takes us 10 times, no, motherfucker, you shouldn't get 10 times. That's something wrong with our justice system. Okay? But if this goes to the jury and it's in the jury's hands and they can't come to a conclusion and it's, hey, half this is half this. You guys, that means when people are like, oh, we're half this way and half, you know what that means? You need 12 people for that guilty, okay? Half and half. You ain't fucking changing no 6 people's minds. So, but that is not my opinion, though. If it's a mistrial due to some stupidity out the gate or during it and someone does something stupid, no. I'm talking about once this goes in the hands of the jury and the jury has it to deliberate and come to a verdict. That's what I'm talking about. You should only get 2 tries. Because if you think about it, them being able to do it over and over and over and over, they're not doing it over and over and over to say, hey, we want to be able to acquit you. No, they're doing it because we want to be able to what? Convict you. You don't get to sit here all fucking day and convict me or try to convict me. Sorry. You just don't. That needs to change. Here we go. Invite. Copy. Hi, Boston. Ted Daniels said poll cameras were installed outside court to monitor the pink shirts. I don't give a fuck what Ted Daniels says unless he's going to be reporting on the fuckerage going on with the McAlberts over and over to get the verdict they want. 100%. Take a look at this again. Let's go back to the, like, if you guys want the truth, look at the motions, read the motions. Okay. I'm just so sick and tired of like, this is what this person said, or this is what this person, I don't give a fuck what anybody's parent says. I don't, this case is a big fucking lie. Idaho4, big, huge lie. Shanna Gardner's case, big, huge lie. Delphi, big, huge lie. Karen Reed, big, huge lie. If you guys don't think that corruption is sitting right around the corner, y'all have lost your minds. That's fine. I still love you. But I only cover cases that have some type of controversy. Something is wrong. I don't cover cases that are just like, you know, here, this person's so guilty, they fucking did it. Yeah, great, awesome. You don't need my voice. You don't need us. We're not needed in those cases. So when people wonder, like, what, Lana, you only cover cases that are fucking anti-cops. No, I only cover cases that are fucked up. Fucked up from this side or fucked up from that side, but they're fucked. We're not needed in cases that are just so, whoop. They're just not needed. Why would we? Mm-mm. And people will talk about the Kylie Rodney case. I'm going to tell you guys about the Kylie Rodney case. When the parents come out and say, don't help us, leave the case alone. Kylie Rodney's parents were very, very adamant about that. People have asked me, you know how many emails I get about that case? And let me tell you what I think about that. I don't think they ever went in and searched from the beginning. They would have found that vehicle like that. So if anybody wants to sue anybody, I would sue the shit out of the people that said that they went in looking for that car. They didn't go in looking for anything. They didn't spend any resources, in my opinion. But if somebody tells you, like, hey, they don't, remember, it was the parents that came out. Kaylee's parents came out demanding answers from the local law enforcement people, and then higher ups. You know, the case out of Virginia. I think her husband was arrested for concealing a body. That's going to be super interesting to me because it's a cultural thing. We'll see what's up. But cases that don't need us don't need us. It's just that simple. Brian Kohlberger, I think it's amazing that his parents haven't said a word. I think it's amazing that Brian Kohlberger hasn't said a word. I think it's amazing that his sisters haven't said a word. Okay. Think about this. When has there been a time that mainstream media thought that they could break? Okay. Thought they could break that side of the fence, and nobody has been able to break that side of the fence. Isn't that fucking crazy? Think about that. I think it's amazing. I think it's fucking absolutely amazing. Let them say whatever the fuck they want. Hop up on panel and chat with Lana. Absolutely. I try to pin it there. I want to talk about tonight. What do you think is going to happen as far as my personal opinion is that this should be moved. It's a coin toss if he's going to do it or not. It's a coin toss to me. I think that it's a coin toss. Jess says I think it would be granted. That's what I felt. I was really positive about it. And the only arguments I think he has a leg to stand on is that they may find some common ground. And could this possibly go to Kootenai County? If this goes to Kootenai County, I will be so happy, but in a selfish way. But did they leave the door open for this to go to Kootenai County? It's totally a toss-up here. I think that Judge is going to try to make it a compromise. I think that he doesn't want to make the decision. So if he can make the prosecution and the defense like, hey, can we meet some common ground here? You want to go 300 miles. You want to stay in Moscow. Okay, can we make it so that it stays in Kootenai County, halfway maybe? So do I see Judge? You guys see how he's playing it? He wants it to be like, he doesn't want to make the orders. He wants you guys to agree to something, and then he signs the order that y'all put in place, because that means it's not going to be able to be appealed. So he's going to give them a chance to say, is this something that, okay, can we do Kootenai County? That's how I see him going about it. And I'd be happy with that because for selfish reasons, but what's up, girl?
Hey,
Hey, girl, where are you at?
I'm finally home.
Oh, you're like, it's like speak again.
Oh, my mic.
It's like, yeah, it's choppy.
Mm.
Are you on speakerphone?
Just on my regular phone, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's like I'm ETTing you.
Bye.
ET photo. Just pop back on here because I want to hear what Annie has to say. I could see that's what I think is going to happen. So I think he's going to try to make them like stipulate to, why don't we just meet in the middle? And I think that if they do that, then they will hold everything in Moscow until the point of the trial. So I would fight for the whole damn state to be able to be summoned to come to Kootenai County then. I think it should be. I think that anybody in Idaho should be able to be summoned to come open it all the way up. Not popping in at this second, says the Richard. Well, that's unfortunate for you. All right. So you want me to get super controversy? Let's get super controversy. Is this a death? Yeah, it's a death penalty case. Hell yeah. It should be a death penalty case. Do I believe in death penalty? Maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. But it's 100% a death penalty case. Let's just make it all that much more fun. Hold on 1 second. Again, big thing here is when oh, Annie, let's see if this works. Annie, what's up? Annie, you there?
What did I do? Can you hear me now better?
Fuck no, I can't hear you. It's so shitty as hell.
What the fuck?
No, call my phone. I'll put you on speaker.
This is bullshit. Alright, bye.
Okay. We gotta get creative with this motherfucker. Oh, what's up, Chief? How you doing there? Chief, you there? Oh, no. Well, y'all are missing out. Oh.
Backstage. I'm on the show.
Kane, what's up? You're on.
Hi there. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you for
Absolutely.
reevaluating my situation. I froze. My hair froze.
It's okay. As long as you're not showing a dick pic, I'm good.
No, that would be an enhancement. It's nice to see you, Lana. It's I'm tickled. I got ASMR. Just being back on the show.
Okay, well, I'm going to put Annie on here. She's going to be on speaker. Hi, Annie Potts.
That's
Hello.
Okay, I think we can hear you now.
Is that better?
Yeah, way better. I mean, geez. You're
it's crazy. It's a delay in my headphones.
I won't swear if you have me on speaker and the boy.
Nice. I almost just got a huge fireball sign a minute ago at the liquor store. I was doing a Idaho4 bike ride live. I don't know if you caught my show at all, but I have a Idaho4 true crime bike ride.
I can't catch my pants, but
I don't know. My camera is unplugged or whatever.
So okay.
Can you hear me okay? Am I talking over Annie?
No, you're good. Hold on. I'm gonna tell Annie. Hold on, because Annie can't hear because I don't have it. It's in my ear.
My live talk.
No, you're good because she doesn't know.
I don't know what's up with my camera. It's kind of sucking. Sorry.
It's okay. Like I said, as long as there's not a dick pic, I'm good. We'll give you a little shake. So, what do you think? Does it get changed? Is it going to stay in Moscow? What do you think?
Me?
Me or?
Oh no, him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I honestly think that it is going to move.
Woo!
And I know that they want to keep it in Moscow. Money wise, I think that's a big reason behind it.
Money of a brother.
Can you imagine what it's going to bring in? I wanted to get off topic a little bit, and I wanted to talk about the memorial.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah,
I know, but if you notice it, did you notice Cumber Scott Green at the memorial? I'm sure you saw that. He said, "Let's get out of here." I don't know if it was a hot mic moment or whatever, but he told the dean of students, Mr. Eccles, there.
Oh, fucking
that
Dwayne,
I want to get out of here. I mean, how crass is that?
Oh shit! What happened? Hold on, don't move. Come back. Sorry, that was my fault.
It's okay, no worries. I have my pen in my hat now. That's I can't really think without the pen in the hat anymore.
I can't
it's part
think
of my
about
thing.
Anything.
And the plays kill me, but I got it.
I feel like the memorial is honestly, it's like a tramp stamp. You know what I mean? Like it's just
absolutely.
Maybe that sounds really harsh to say, but I feel like the memorial is like a tramp stamp. You know, they were so like anti the whole fucking house being there, but let's just put a fucking memorial up there so everybody, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
It's an oxymoron to me. So I call it a tramp stamp because it reminds you of like the worst thing that you've ever done in your life. So
I'm going back to speaker. I'm sorry, it's too much delay.
that's what I think. Okay.
Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. I apologize. Here we go. So yeah, that was the boom. I think it just shows you, like, okay, first of all, they didn't let any of the victims' families or any of the friends that were there. Now you're gonna have an echo. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. I'll take that off. To speak at the memorial at all, right? They were patting each other on the back the entire time, talking about how the architecture program designed the thing. We got free labor, we had cheap materials, we already had the spot. Okay, all of those people in the crowd were just dying, I'm sure, to get up there and say something nice. Now, this is a memorial for all of the students that have passed away since 1950. Now, this memorial was in 1950. Did you know that? And nowhere do you see their names on this. I want somebody to go there and spray paint their names on top of that spaceship. It literally looks like a truck stop restroom. It looks like a rest stop bathroom. If I pulled up to a rest stop, the first place I would run is that damn gazebo where this memorial, this healing garden is, and I would go use the restroom.
I just can't believe I was expecting something better. When I saw what they built, I was like, why did this take so long? That's my thought. I feel like
it looks like ground zero. It
should be where the house is. It should just be where the house is.
Or it should be where the house is buried. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, where the house was. You know what I mean?
I mean, where the house is buried in the.
Let's just put it in the middle of the fucking schools. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I just think it's weird. It's weird. Whatever. It was weird that the president wrote a book. I mean, it's all weird.
Yeah. Well, they literally asked for money at the memorial.
They were asking for more money.
They said, and then he gave a plug for a business after they asked the victims' families and the audience for money. Now they had $800,000 to work with. What fancy dinner and boat cruise did Comer go on with that money? That's what I want to know. Anyway,
he probably paid for it himself.
You're over the memorial.
He probably paid for it himself.
Very crass.
He was paying for, what do you call it? He's paying for GoFundMe's. He's probably like, I just got this. Let me just take this. I'm gonna take this one. He's like, you guys just made me wreck my own home that I grew up in, but I'll take this to the. Yeah, I got you. I'll tell you this. You know, if you were going to look at some connections, I was debating on whether or not to do an episode about it, of where Kaylee's sister used to live in Coeur d'Alene, and the people that lived in that duplex that was there, and how close that was to all the things that were going on in Coeur d'Alene. I don't know. Maybe I'll do an episode about it, but there's a lot more people in the world of their little circle that could possibly be out for quote unquote blood. Let's just say that. You got kids being taken away from other people's parents, and it's bad.
I'm sorry. Who right
I'm just saying there's a lot of things going on in that family.
In that whole state.
In that whole state, yeah. They're fucking nuts in that state. That state's fucked.
In the Vandal family, go Vandals.
Fuck shit, man. I'll tell you that right now. Idaho State Police. I'm telling you, if you have a heartbeat, you get hired. No.
Well,
Let me explain this to you. Let me explain this to you. He didn't try. He never tried. Let me explain this to you guys. There are people that are involved in local law enforcement that have had drug addictions, that have sold drugs, bought drugs, and got caught, and most importantly, have killed people. Killed people. They have literally killed people. and they are literally in law enforcement in Bonners Ferry, Bonner County Sheriffs, Bondry County Sheriffs, and Kootenai
Huckleberry
County with the Idaho State Police, District 1, District 2, or whatever the fuck it's called. Anyways, when I could literally put this shit up on right now up here and show you guys what these officers have gotten themselves into. We're talking about they've taken lives. They've killed people. How do you kill somebody and you become a cop after that? How do you kill somebody while you were a cop and you still are a cop, even if it was an accident? I don't know. Like, I just, how do you buy and sell drugs and you're in and out of programs and you're a cop? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand any of this. But in Idaho, anything goes, man. It's insanity. It's flat out insanity. And then people are like, no, Anna, you're just being judgmental. Like, these people are like on their way back to like everybody makes mistakes. And like, I'm like, well, excuse me? What are you talking about? Like, this is something when you go through the academy, they ask you these questions. Like, they ask you if you fucked a goat. They ask you some weird ass shit. They tase you. They mace you. They put you through some serious shit. And in Idaho, it's like they'll just take, if you have a heartbeat, you're good. We gotcha. We'll take you in, man. We'll take you in. What's up there?
Okay, so we have the can't get enough of themselves.
Is that
President
what that is?
And Dean of Students running the memorial service. They don't invite any of the family up or any other students to share anything, and they literally plug a business and ask for money from the families and the students that were affected that didn't get to speak here at the memorial.
Miss T, what's up? What do you got? Hold on one second. Keep your screen up. Hold on one second. What do you got, Miss T? How are you?
Here's the first boom for you. And if this
Sam
doesn't
Panther, what's good?
show you who they are and turn your
Hey,
stomach,
Alana, how are you?
I don't know what will.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for letting me on to chat with
Absolutely. Here, take a look. Here we go. We're watching this memorial. Clap, clap. Let's see what's good.
Scott just said, let's get out of here. Let's move.
Oh, Dane
Who's
Eccles.
laughing at that?
Scott just said, let's get out of here. Let's move.
This is the great memorial that's supposed to bring healing
There's a bunch of
to the
fucking
school
weirdos. Yeah.
that they built, and they're 20 minutes into it, and he says, let's get out of here. First of all, this was planned in the 1950s. Nowhere on that memorial does it say the names of the Idaho4. I don't see it. Do you?
Listen, I think Idaho's ass backwards. So anything you tell me, I believe it.
That it was planned before they were even born in the 1950s.
It's like Plan B. I plan for an abortion.
Thank you, President Green. Before we get to our next speaker, I'd like to take a few moments to share some words myself.
Okay.
The idea for this garden came about many years ago.
Oh, fuck.
November
I would just stop right there, right?
13th, 2022.
This thing came from many years ago. Like,
As
that
Dean of
has nothing
Students,
to
I
do
have the sad
with this.
privilege of working.
Are you kidding me?
This is,
This
we had
looks
an
like
idea
a
about this many years
restaurant
ago. So this has
bathroom.
nothing to do
if I was
about
pull
the
up to a
Idaho
restaurant, I would run right to this gazebo, and it looks like a 9/11 ground zero. It's if you look at it closely. And
so this is about all the people that have ever died that went to
then
the
he
school?
says this, literally asks for money from the families of the victims. None of them get to speak here. None of them get to share. There's no heartfelt anything here.
And the Rotary Club, many of the members of
Rotary
sitting over
Club,
here
are you
today
kidding me?
Really appreciate their membership or their support. And
Where's
I wanna
there a
give
train
quick
around
plug.
there? Hold
Tim
on, press
Thompson's
pause.
the chair and president of the Rotary or their support. And I want to give
where's
a quick
there a
plug here
train
today.
around there?
Really appreciate their
Wait, where's there a train around there?
membership.
You hear that, like,
or their
train? Like, wait, what the fuck?
support. And I want to give a quick plug. Tim Thompson's the chair and president of the Rotary or their support. And
What
I want to give
wait, what's that? There's not a train around there, is there? Where's there a train around there? I don't buy. That's nutso. I've never heard a train around there. Have you ever heard a train around there? Play that again. Let's see.
membership or their support. And I want to give them quick.
Yeah, wait, what the fuck's that?
Really appreciate their membership or their support. And I want to give them quick plug. Tim Thompson's the chair and president of the Rotary or their support. And I want to give them quick plug.
I want to give a quick plug.
President of the Rotary.
Oh boy, you're breaking my heart.
You're plugging people. But wait, let's talk about this. There's train tracks, but where? Like, I've never heard a train go by there. I want to talk about that's a new way to get in and get out of town then. That's definitely a train. Michelle, my bell. Definitely a train. We're running a train. You know what that's called? Have you ever had a train run on you? It's definitely a train. You guys, I want to talk about this train. Where is there a train though? Think about it. Like, there may be some tracks, but like, where?
None of them get to speak here. None of them get to share. There's no heartfelt anything here.
You would not believe me if I told you.
And the Rotary Club, many of the members are sitting over here today really appreciate their membership or their support. And I want to give them quick plug. Tim Thompson's the chair and president.
So now the killer could have came in on
and
train and out on train. We're going to talk about that. Hold on. I'm going to put you on pause for a second. Hi, Miss T.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. I was unmuting you. Hi. I want to know what you think. What are your thoughts?
Oh, Lana, this case drives me bonkers.
Fuck this case.
It's just I feel I don't like the mainstream media because obviously they're always putting out information that isn't correct, right?
Oh, yeah, all day.
And I feel especially with these big cases, like obviously the Idaho4, Karen Reed, right? Delphi coming up here soon.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they do such a disservice to true justice, right? Because personally, myself, I feel with Delphi and with the Idaho4 case, I believe that this was not a single person crime. I believe there was multiple perps.
I think it's hard to be one person.
Exactly. And I think about it, I'm like, look, I used to live in I used to have roommates and I used to live in a house that had wooden floors, fairly small as well. My dog one day had a seizure and he was rolling on the floor like crazy. And this was at 2 a.m. in the morning. My roommate next door and my roommates downstairs heard it and they came up running up. They're like, oh my gosh, what the hell's happening? And I was like, my dog just had a seizure. And I'm just like, there is no way those two other girls didn't hear anything. I honestly think they heard it for whatever reason. They didn't want to speak on it. Another thing is I work in the law field, and I'll tell you about a case that I worked on. I actually was working in criminal law for a while, and the firm I was working for, we were handling a case that had a lot of, informants, a lot of information redacted. And I'll tell you a mess up, right, with the prosecution. So with this particular case that I'm referring to, these informants flat out even stated, one said, I saw the murder, I saw it happen, or, the unaliving. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. I saw the unaliving. She stayed quiet for well over 1.5 years about it, and then stated she helped get rid of evidence. And there was another guy that actually admitted to getting rid of the body. And you know what happened to those two people? Nothing. No charges, no nothing. They were just going after one single person. And to me, it was like these people just flat out admitted, there's drugs involved in this particular case. And then, these other people came out and gave that information. No charges pressed for helping, clean up the scene and the crime and all this other stuff. And I remember I was doing discovery at the time because I was working, again, in a criminal defense law firm. And I'm doing the discovery and I'm like, wait a minute. This person, one of these witnesses, claimed she was so scared for her life, yet she continued sleeping with the alleged murderer for well over 1.5 years. When he got arrested on gun possession charges, she was visiting him, chatting with him, not obvious, behavior of someone who claims she's scared for her life. She could have left when he was in prison, right? So to me, the whole thing was strange. And then there was DNA actually found with this particular case. And they found the victim's shoe, and then they found a latex glove with the alleged killer's DNA in it. And then one of the people that disposed of the evidence, she said, "Oh yeah, like I just gathered stuff and I threw it." And I was like, "No, it almost seems like it was planted there, right?" So because I've seen shady stuff in the past, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I think the prosecution, because they wanted to look good quickly, right? And the LE over there, they wanted to look good quickly. So they went ahead, in my opinion, and I think it's going to come out in trial. They went ahead and gave sweetheart deals and immunity to people they shouldn't have that have criminal connections in that area, because they wanted to point at someone and they needed to do it quickly because this was such a big case. And that's my personal opinion on it. Do I think it's going to get moved? I think it is going to get moved. I'm hoping it gets moved because
It needs to get moved.
I don't think it would be fair if they kept it there because, again,
No way in hell would it be fair.
Yeah, didn't the grand jury happen there in Moscow, and weren't they the ones leaking information to the Goncalves family? That right there.
Yeah, it was a big clusterfuck.
Right? So that's my thoughts, Lana. Sorry, I was rambling.
No, I was listening. I enjoy it. Like, no, because when you have an insight of like how other cases have worked, like it is like that just tells you things that are plausible. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's why I was like, you guys need to listen to the Dr. Drake case, because that is like a firsthand, like literally playbook of what the fuck Idaho State Police does. And they're just so fucking inept. It's not even funny. And so sometimes people are like, Lana, do you think it's inept, or do you think that they really like, was this like corruption? I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact these officers are inept. And then you have to ask yourselves, the leadership, because if you were truly reviewing reports, you would tell somebody, you're going to go and get this. So I don't care if my detectives are inept. If I'm reviewing these documents, I know exactly what we should be going and getting. And so that's where it's like, okay, not only are your detectives inept, but then the higher ups aren't catching like the problems. You know what I mean? You're not catching like right in front of your face. Like, wow, this eyewitness is lying. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. Like if you're a detective and if you are actually in charge of all detectives, you're in charge for a reason. And it's just mind blowing to see what the Idaho State Police has done in a similar case where they try to say that a vehicle was circling right before a murder. And that's how they pinned it on him. And here I did 2 years worth of work in a matter of 30 to 120 days to find out that, whoa, y'all fucking framed this motherfucking man. And so if you guys did it in that case, why couldn't you do it in the Brian Kohlberger case? I literally I can prove that Dr. Moore was fucking framed 100%. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And they did it by saying that he was circling right before this alleged murder happened, but that's not even the time of the murder. And so not only did they not vet the time of the crime, but then they're going off of somebody circling this area. It was literally eerie to the how similar it was to what they were saying Brian Kohlberger did, which was this person had looped around 4 times. You know, like I'm just like, oh, I don't even want to hear that. Bring it. Like I've seen it. I've seen it done before, and here they do it again. And it's ISP that did it there, and I know that ISP was involved in Moscow, and I know the people that were involved in the Bonners Ferry case with Dr. Moore. 2 of them 100% are involved in this case here in Moscow. And I'm like, this is some fucked up shit, because they're just so used to doing things and not being questioned, and it is what it is. But Ann Taylor is just so used to being that person that, like, damn, you don't want her to get the case, because Ann Taylor fights back. Ann Taylor knows what these motherfuckers do. Like, they some motherfucking shady ass motherfuckers, period.
And
why do you think she wants training records? She doesn't want training records because she just, I just see these 3. There's 120 people in this case. She wants 3 people's training records.
And I've been watching Cy Ray's his
he's the slam.
He's just so good at what he does, and I'm like,
yeah, he's solid. I cannot Carrie, they're just so solid. They're just solid human beings. They're solid at what they do. And what I love about it is that they're like, besides like I'm doing this pro bono, like I'm not even getting paid. I'm doing this because I know for a fact what I do puts him somewhere else. We're not gonna let you railroad motherfuckers, basically. That's what I think.
And that's what he needs. He needs that. And I'm hoping Ann Taylor does. Obviously she's great with her motions and her presentation. We'll see how it goes because, I hate to say this, but juries, they go in there already with the mentality of
that you're guilty.
It sucks that you're guilty. They're like, hey, they arrested you because they probably had a reason to arrest you. Mm-hmm. People don't think. They look at cops and prosecution like the good guys. And seeing what happened to Karen Reed recently, and then following the Delphi case, and now this one here, I'm like, you guys, people, like,
Brian Culver's best bet is a fucking hung jury. Like that's his best bet,
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's sad.
Or more information coming out. Yeah, the hung jury, I think it's more likely, and I think these juries, especially with the bigger cases, they feel pressured, right? To kind of provide what they think is justice, right? Which is a conviction. No, there's 4 people that got killed. You want to make sure you go ahead and bring the right people to justice.
That's not what your job is. Your job is to analyze the data, the evidence, and to say if the state proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And I hope that Anne learned something from the Karen Reed case.
Yeah, exactly. They need more people like you and me on juries, Lana. Yeah, we're like, hey, look at the evidence, you guys.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you have to tell. Yeah, if we're over here thinking that this could have happened and that could have happened and this could have happened, that tells me that we weren't proved anything beyond a reasonable doubt because we're over here saying that this could have happened. So that's the whole point. And that's how you would ever want to open up to the jury is to say, listen, if you go back to that deliberating room and you think that multiple things could have happened, then that's what reasonable doubt is. Reasonable doubt is when you think that, oh, well, yeah, this could have happened and that could have happened. And so we don't know what happened. That's, it's reasonable. It's reasonable to say, like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, and it's reasonable. And I would move the time of the crime on this case. You move the time of the crime in this case, you knock it out of the park.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's been already, debunked basically, right? That he wasn't stalking them. And you still see people saying, oh, he was stalking them and he was like in love with Maddie. And then you look at some of the reports out of like, Europe, and it looks like he was hanging out with the Asian girls. And I'm like, dude, so clearly he's most likely into ethnic girls. He's tapping ethnic girls. He's not over there chasing, blondes. That's why that can't come in, because he's over here getting Asian tail. So for me, I'm just
persuasion.
I'm like literally, like Asian girls are pretty, Latina girls are pretty. Like why does it have to be that he's obsessed?
He's not all up in that ass. Yeah, I gotcha. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Like that makes sense too. Want to give a shout out to Deborah. Love you, Gail. Love you back. Love you back.
Girl. I'm gonna let you go. I just wanted to come in and give my 2 cents. I always love calling and chatting with you. You're my girl crush. You are.
Yes, Missy. I appreciate that. That means I got my brains on. All right.
Yeah, you do. I love the Lana brains. They're the best. But keep doing what you're doing, and
thank you so much.
Following these cases. Are you gonna be going to Delphi when Delphi starts?
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet. I'm hoping she'll change her mind and let it stream, but I doubt it. But hey, at least you'll be reporting it for us.
Yeah, and I take pretty good sour notes. So
sweet. All right, girl. Well, you have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. You too, love. I appreciate you. Oh, what a doll. What a baby doll. Natural healing.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you? Yep, I can hear you. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. So when you put that memorial service up there, I'm like, I have got to get up there because I have so much to say.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, that memorial
is just asinine.
I call it an abortion. Like, I just feel like it's fucking just horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Horrible. First of all, why are they doing it 2 years after? Okay. That
Why are they
doesn't
doing
make
it
sense.
all?
Right, exactly. And but you know, the big thing that really bugged me was during that memorial service, they listed, I believe, 37 students passing away. And
Hold on
since
one second, ready?
2000
I want to play this song for us.
Oh, okay.
Remember we were just talking about sexual healing? I don't ever get to do this on, what is it, Saturday nights? Maybe the artist. Does anybody know that song? Come on, man. Who knows that song?
Oh gosh.
Because it was natural healing that was just up there. So I was like,
Oh
we'll play
my
that sexual healing. Come on, who sings that? Anybody know? Marvin Gaye didn't do it. This one. Anybody know? Come on. I'm just here. I'll give you guys a hint. I'm gonna break up the show. I'm gonna tell you guys another one, okay? It's anybody say it in here? I'm trying to look at the chat. Oh, it's not Shaggy, it's close. Come on, you guys are on the right path. Come on, man. Nobody's got it. Oh, I'm so upset with you guys. I can't even with you guys. It's Maximilian, motherfuckers. Nobody even said Maximilian. Did anybody say Maximilian? Anybody say it? Oh, Kate did? Oh, then Katie gets it. Katie gets it if she said Maximilian. Did she really say it, Maximilian? No. It's Maximilian, yeah. Sexual healing. Come on, guys. Woo! You guys never heard this? Come on.
Not that version.
You guys all know. All right, go ahead. Tell me what you got. Sorry, I just had to get down.
No, it's okay. It's great.
I don't usually get to have fun on here. I'm totally gonna get blocked on this. They're gonna be like, we're gonna exit episode.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got you saw the healing,
yeah, I guess if you want to call it that. Well, I saw there were just so many things, but what really stood out was he named 37 students that passed away. I believe it was 2017. I can't remember, but that's 37 students. On the college property. I would like to know.
I don't understand what that was about. Yeah.
Green. And I'm like, I want to know. I know Green didn't show up until 2019, but that's very alarming. But if all the students passed away on that property, I would like to know, the reason behind that. There's got to be some accountability for that.
I have no idea why they were even talking about it.
I don't either. What was the purpose? And then at times they also named just a few students, but not all of them. It was so inconsistent. I don't get the point. I really don't.
I'm sorry. I didn't watch it. I didn't think it was a good take. Nope, I didn't. I thought if anything, it should be where the house was. And when I found out that it was like literally dead smack in the middle of the school, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, y'all tried. You guys don't want like this sore to look at when you guys are off campus, but let's just put a sore in the middle of campus. I can't get down with that. That's just stupid as fuck.
I agree. I 100% agree. But as far as the court case goes,
yes, absolutely.
If they do move it, okay, that's great and dandy. But we already got 2 years into this. So how much longer are we going to be after that?
Nothing changes with that. I don't think anything is going to change with that.
Oh, okay. But if they don't move it,
I was looking into that. It's not going to change anything like that.
Okay.
If that helps people understand that.
Okay, so it's still gonna, have, somewhat speedy to it, right? Then is that what you mean?
Yeah, like we're gonna still be on the same path. It's just, I honestly, even if this was to get like, it's kind of like Delphi. They did everything in what was it? Allen County when they were doing stuff, and then like they're like, okay, we're gonna be, though when we start handling it more close to the trial, we're gonna be over in Delphi, but wherever that county, what county is that? Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna change anything like that. 100%. I mean, they may have to like teeter-totter around like, okay, it was supposed to start on June 2nd with a trial. Maybe it's going to start on like June 7th or something like that. But this isn't like a, yeah. So
it would be in the best interest.
I mean, I know this judge and the way that he's been doing everything. It's like he wants both sides to agree, so that way there's no appeal. And everything that they've been doing, it's been like, we stipulate. It's like, okay, awesome. So are these two going to stipulate to, okay, hey, we want to move it to Ada County. You want to keep it in Moss. You want to keep it in Latah County. Can we agree on Cooney County? And if that happens, that's where I don't know. I would think that you got to move it out of Moscow. You got to move it out of Latah. Like, I think any place would be better there. People could say like, oh, well, Cooney County wouldn't be any much better. I disagree. I don't know.
100%.
I think that anywhere out of there, you have to move it. You're going to have way too many people that are just like, I don't know. You have to move it.
I agree 100% in the best interest of it all. Absolutely. And I don't know. I'm unsure. The feel of it is unsure. And that is
my gut tells me they're going to keep it there. My gut tells me it's going to stay.
Yep.
My gut tells me that it's going to stay unless they stipulate. If they stipulate, then the prosecution is going to stipulate to move it to Boise. So that's where I'm just thinking like judge is going to be like, okay, can we compromise here? What if we went to, right here? Because Cooney County is close to the airport. It's not that far to fly into Spokane. So that's one thing I could think of.
That's a good point. But the survey though that you showed the other night, that
yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's all good. This is not serious. This is just talking. It's all good.
Yeah. I'm trying to do like 50 things right here. I'm like, whoop, got you. Okay. Whoop.
I know. Right.
For Brian Colbert, Ada County would be the best outcome. No doubt about it.
Yep.
I think as long as if they continue to say that hey, we're gonna stream it, we're gonna have it on TV, so we're gonna have to worry about like how small or big like the facility is. I can get down with that. It's gonna come down to emotion. Like you can't. If I'm a business owner and I live in Latah County, if people ever were to find out that I was like the person to be like, listen, I can't convict him. If my name ever got told to the world, people would boycott my business.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, like that's the only thing that like I would just stick to that. I would stick to the fact that these jurors can't be put under this type of pressure to find Brian Colbert guilty due to being blacklisted in the community. You stick to that, it's a win.
Right.
Because that's the truth. Like anybody could feel that type of pressure. Like you have to feed your family. You have to.
Yes.
We have such a successful business. If I was to be the person on the jury that was just like, okay, they didn't meet their burden, like, and they're like, okay, well, hey, this is the person that fucking was the holdout. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get it. There.
That would spread. And it's not so much like they're going to be seen by people because they sat in the public trial. It's going to be like, no, it's going to get out that was the person that held out to say he was innocent versus I didn't say he was innocent. I said they didn't prove they didn't mean it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
But if I do that and that gets out, then people are going to be like, don't buy, let's say that I sell t-shirts. Don't buy t-shirts. This person no longer has the contract with the high schools. This person, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like that's just, I think that's the pressure that people are talking about here.
Yes.
That's the type of pressure that's on you. And that was the type of pressure in the Karen Reed case. And that's why it should have never been in Norfolk County, is because of the pressures on the jurors. It's not about, oh, I haven't seen this case. I've seen this case. It's about, you're not going to be able to go pretty much anywhere not to have people see the case. It's about what are your ties to the community that if you were to find Brian Colbert innocent or vote not to have him guilty, if that was to get out, oh my God, people would, ransack my place or
Exactly. Because you got
we shouldn't have that. That we shouldn't have that as a jury. Like as citizens, we shouldn't be asked to be put in that type of situation that our livelihood is now on the line if I don't convict. You know what I mean? Like that's what that's how I would be driving it home.
Sure. And
I saw it in Karen Reed case. It was that obvious.
And the bigger, broader picture, like what you're saying, it affects, it's not just the jury, it's the whole community, it's the business owners, it's the people, it's everything. So there's a lot to this. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with any of it right now. So, but.
What's up, True Crime Man? We'll come back to you, True Crime Man. Sarah, how you doing?
Sorry, I couldn't find my unmute button. There we go.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
So,
hi,
how you doing?
Hanging out, having a high noon.
Good. How you doing? Now that son's back in school? You feeling all the feelings now that he's getting all grown up and stuff?
Oh, all the feels.
All the feels. No, those were great pictures.
Things are good.
Yeah, good deal.
Happy for him.
So I do think, well, what I think is going to happen is Judge is going to do his classic, I'm not going to answer in this hearing. I'm going to think about it for a little bit and then post his order in terms of whether he changes it or not, or decides to allow the motion to change venue. I just feel like that's kind of a theme with him, is that he may not, he doesn't usually answer, at least I've noticed, in the moment in the hearing. So, but I think he will, but I'm wondering if he's going to go to just that one county south and not actually go to Ada and, trying to keep.
Oh, you think he's gonna try to like just do a little maneuver?
Yeah, like, how you were saying how they were trying to get him to agree.
Okay, wait. If I play a song and you get the artist right, I will chug this.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready?
Yep.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Okay, who do you think that is?
Well, I know the song and I can see the artist's face in my mind, but of course, I'm not good on the spot. Hang on a second, let me think. But I know the song.
Okay. What's the song? I'm probably gonna lose my bet.
What's the song you said?
You want me to play it again for you? Here you go. Ready?
Not that song. Sorry.
This is the song, right?
Yeah. I'm Bad at Love. I mean, isn't that? Yeah, I'm bad at love. That one. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the artist?
Yeah, I'm totally in brain part now. Of course, now on the spot. Because I used to intentionally sing this bad to my coworkers. I'm bad at love. Yeah, I used to be really annoying. Yeah. But yeah, no, I yep. Or if they were having, girlfriend problems, I'd be like, it's because you're bad at love. I'm sorry, I'll let you down, but I do know the song. I remember the title of it, but yeah.
All right, let me see. I'll see like another. Let's see. I'm gonna do this for like my older crew here. Let's see if people know this song. Ready?
Ready.
This is my favorite boating song. Kelly got it right. Come on, who's gonna get the first one? I'm gonna ring my bell. I'm probably gonna get like, oh, Stevie Winwood! Yeah, Jen H, what's up? That my life is up. Yeah, the high, yes.
God, I hadn't heard
That's
that
like,
song in a minute.
I gotta give it to Patsy Cline too.
Patsy
Back in the Highlands
Cline.
again. Somebody said they wanted to hear the 70s and 80s.
So, have you watched any of the latest Scott Peterson documentaries that have come out?
Yeah. What was that? I'm sorry.
Have you watched any of the latest Scott Peterson documentaries that have hit Netflix?
I have not. I think he's innocent.
Oh, I do too.
Oh, there you go. That's like, yeah.
So there's a quote in the Netflix one that I thought was very interesting and very telling. It's Gloria Gomez, who was, the main reporter in Modesto. When they've arrested Scott and they're bringing him and they're trying to get into the jail, and it's like this, literally like a mob, like what they're talking about with Moscow and, the mob mentality. And she says, in a weird way, internally, I was like, because she's talking about all these people outside, like they were leading him to the slaughterhouse, basically. And she pauses and she goes, internally, I was like, wow, we created this. Pause. We, the media, created this. She says that right on camera. And I was just like, well, there it is. And then, I just thought it was very powerful that, one, she said that, and two, that they left it in that documentary, because that was really, and I asked actually Julie when we watched that, I said, why do you think it would be today, the Scott Peterson, with if Truth and Transparency was investigating it. And
I said if bono was investigating it.
Yeah.
I was in Modesto.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I was in Modesto last November. Myself and Gabriel Vargas went out there we were at Peterson's house. Well, like the house. And we were talking to the neighbors and stuff like that. And we were in the park. We did some deep diving ourselves. I said I would wait until I saw what I knew that we knew that they were coming out with. Mark Garagos had said that they were coming out, that Scott was going to be having a chance at DNA type stuff. And so, it would be if they got a hit on the DNA that they could have a chance at doing genealogy on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were looking at it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That is, I think just in general, it'd be a very different, but I just thought that was really, it was almost kind of mind blowing. That scene of that mob mentality and him going into the jail, and then her saying that. And I was like, wow, that's basically, I remember looking when they took Brian Koberger into the jail. It was all media mostly, but there was lights. You would have thought they arrested Ted Bundy. My gosh, it was just horrible. And I was like, this poor kid is just, but it was kind of that eerily familiar kind of look,
There's just so many things that are just out there that people think are true, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's not true. That's just a statement, man.
Yeah.
And then we have nothing. We have nobody other than mainstream media to thank for that. And that's just why it's so crippling. Like when you're just given, I don't know, when you have these platforms and you're just so reckless with them, it's truly just unfucking believable. And I have no problem saying that. Like it's just bad. It's just so bad. Yeah, it's just you have these platforms and you're just reckless with them, and because of your recklessness, it is literally debilitating for people to overcome in the courtroom. And that's just not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. And I have a feeling that there might be a lot of lawsuits in a lot of different ways in the near future. At least I would think there would be, but I don't know.
I just think that when people are guilty, find a way to prove that they're guilty. You don't need to be violating people's rights. You don't need to be doing all this crazy shit.
Oh yeah, the truth.
Yeah,
the truth.
And then they're like, "Wait till it's your kid. Wait
yeah.
till it's your kid." I'm like, "What are you talking about? My kid, no kid, anybody's kid. It's all of our kids because it's like when you wrong one man, you wrong us all, and so that's why I'm fighting. Like it's like my kid. It doesn't need to be like, oh, wait till it happens to your kid, then you're gonna be like, you will do anything to like find somebody. No, if I need to do anything to find somebody guilty, I'm gonna tell you that I don't think that we have the right fucking person.
Right.
Like I'm gonna tell you that like something's off here, or take as much time as you need. Something's wrong. Like when you have to tell me that, hey, we gotta do this because they were just so clever with this. No, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna explain a hell of a lot more than just telling me one sentence of something like that.
Right.
And so, like, if you want to fucking believe in the bullshit that they tell you, just like when they fucking pull you over and they tell you the bullshit, like, there was 4 fucking cars going 35 and a 25, and you pull me over. Why? Because I have tinted windows? You know what I mean? Because I'm black and they were all white. Like, get the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself. I got nothing to say to you. That's how I feel about that. But thank you, Sarah, so much for coming out here. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your emails. Keep them coming, okay, girl?
We'll do. All
right. Thanks, love. I appreciate you.
You too.
All right, love. Anybody got a birthday in the house? Word, motherfucker. No, seriously, I have a problem with all that shit. Anybody's got a birthday? There must be higher love. I'm totally gonna get struck. Every day is my birthday too. This is my first concert I ever went to in my life. Ready? New Kids on the Block were just in town last night. Ah! True story. So my mom took me to the Fine Young Cannibals. I wanted to go to it. My first concert ever. I repaid her by saying, Mom, I want to take you to a concert. I saw Bruce Springsteen with her, Elton John, Billy Joel, fucking you name it. U2, literally Phil Collins. Who else? Madonna, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Pink. Who else did I see? Oh, Up in Smoke, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne. Who else I see? Mike Jones. I don't know. I've seen so many fucking people, right? I've seen Bone. So I was like, hey mom, I want to repay you for that first concert you took me to. Like, I want to take you to a concert. And she's like, okay, where are we going? What are we doing? I was like, well, I want to see the Killers. You want to see the Killers, Mom? She's like, oh my God, I would love it. Took my mom to the Killers concert. She was like loving it. She's fucking loving it. She loves the Killers. She's like, oh my God, I would love to go see the Killers. Ooh, ooh. You're the blast. Then I said, hey, I want to go to their concert. I was like, let's go see